Hello everyone, my name is JunHao and my metric number is 200189. Today I will start my EMG 3401 video presentation. I will introduce a documentary which is called An Inconvenient Truth. So my video presentation will be divided in 6 parts. So let's move on. The first part is what is the medium about? The video is called An Inconvenient Truth. An Inconvenient Truth is a documentary about climate change, which pays special attention to the phenomenon of global warming. It is a documentary film directed by David King about former United States Vice President Al Gore's campaign to educate people about global warming. The film features a slide show that, by Gore's own estimate, he has presented over 1,000 times to audience worldwide. So let's move to the next part, which is how does the story goes. The Inconvenient Truth is a documentary that reveals information about climate change and make prediction about it, and also intersperse Gore's personal activities in the film. Through the publication of Global Briefing, Gore pointed out the scientific evidence of global warming, discussed the economic and political aspects of global warming, and state that he believes that if the greenhouse gases produced by humans are not reduced, the global climate will undergo major changes in the near future. Throughout the movie, Gore discussed the scientific opinion on global warming, as well as the present and future effects of global warming. The next part is what have you learned from media? I conclude 3 points from the media. Gore's speech mainly talk about the global warming. I learned a lot from the media, so let's move. The first is environmental challenges. In his speech, Gore take a large number of environmental challenges caused by global warming. This discussion clearly described the environmental challenges brought about by global warming and intuitively let people understand the damage to the environment. The environmental challenges facing mankind today are more severe than 10 years ago, and we should increase environmental protection efforts. Second is the ecological footprint. As we all know, global carbon dioxide is directly related to the global warming. Nowadays, people all over the world are very familiar with the term global warming. This is, of course, thanks to more and more environmental protection propaganda in these years. But it's more of the global warming has caused damage to many places, such as rising sea levels. Many people know about environmental protection, but don't know how to do it. The ecological footprint is an opportunity for people to better understand and implement environmental protection actions. Third is the government and environment. Between restricting economic development and destroying the environment, the US government has chosen to allow companies to accelerate economic development at the cost of destroying the environment in order to maintain the US status in the world. This makes me a lot of thoughts. Is this the right choice or the wrong choice for the United States? I think for the US government, this has maintained the leading speed in the development of the US, but for the personnel of the US government, there are also people living on the earth. And it is all the creatures living on the earth that are finally backlashed by the destruction of the environment. The next part is how does the media move you? The most motivating among these materials is the picture in the middle of the documentary, where an emaciated polar bear is looking for ice blocks to stand on in the vast ocean. It swam to the only thin piece of ice, and as soon as it stepped on the 1 foot, the ice cracked mercilessly. He tried to grab one of the ice floes, but that piece of ice quickly shattered. As we can imagine, scientists have found a drowned polar bear. This is the consequence of global warming. In places where we can't see, there are many creatures are being hurt by this. The next part is how should everyone enjoy the media? As a former presidential candidate, Al Gore's eloquence is very good. He is a good speaker. He has a very good grasp of the presentation. The documentary is about 1.5 hours long. Gore's presentation occupies most of the documentary, but it does not make you feel boring. The appropriate speech rhyme and a large amount of environmental research materials can always attract you to watch. Although this documentary contains a certain amount of gross political significance, it does not affect the inconvenient truth as an excellent environmental documentary. So let's move to the next part, which is eco-friendly. So the first part is, what is the eco-friendly activity about? This activity is about carbon dioxide emission. It is well known that carbon dioxide is one of the main catalysts of global warming, and it has great damage to the Earth's environment. The eco activity I want to adopt can effectively reduce carbon dioxide emissions. Next is how to perform the eco activity. Nowadays, cars have long become indispensable items in people's lives. They have greatly improved people's work and life efficiency. Many families have more than one gas-online car, but cars are also the main source of carbon dioxide emission. A large number of cars can drive on the street, and the carbon dioxide and chemical pollution they emit every day cannot be measured. I'm also a gas-line car owner, and the car has brought me many conveniences. In order to reduce pollution, I decided to reduce or eliminate the use of cars and instead use public transportation or bicycles to travel or go out. Whenever I use public transportation or bicycles to travel or go out, I will record the time and the mileage used and calculate the pollution emission I reduced this time. The next part is, how does the eco activity reduce your ecological footprint? We all know that automobiles are one of the main sources of carbon dioxide emission in the world, and environmental protection activities starting from the source have good results. Obviously, reducing the use of cars or not using cars can reduce a lot of carbon dioxide emissions. Carbon dioxide emissions are one of the main bases for the calculation of ecological footprint. Reducing carbon dioxide emissions can reduce your ecological footprint value. The next part is, why do you choose this eco activity? The reason I chose this eco activity is that as an environmental student, I know how serious the pollution caused by driving a car is. So I choose to minimize or not use cars to travel and use public transportation and bicycles instead. And I can keep and encourage my family and friends to join this eco activity for a long time. Let's move to the last part, is why should everyone join you? Because the reason for everyone to join me is because the eco-friendly activity is so easy that everyone can do it. Reducing the use of gasoline vehicles can significantly reduce carbon dioxide emission, which can reduce air pollution and slow down the global greenhouse effect. Compared to use gas-online cars, public transportation and bicycles can also save a lot of money. I think that's all for my video presentation. Thank you for watching.